What is going on, guys? It is Zigzag here and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys all the different Google cars that you can get in Australia, and while there are the common ones, which I'll show you first, there are a bunch of ones that are only found in specific little places, but they could certainly help you out in a pinch, and especially if you're playing Australia State Streaks. So I have a full list here, which will be at the top of the description. All the hyperlinks take you straight to a Google location, so you can check it out for yourself. Also, I do have a little image that I've whipped up here for the different states and their most common cars, so you can see where the locations are in this video if you're really curious. So yeah, let's get into the first location, which is here in the Cocos Islands. So the Cocos uses this car. It is like longer on the side here, white. We've got a rack and like a blue container on the back, and yeah, of course, this classic snorkel. But you can also tell it by this rather unique surroundings with all these palms. Here we are in the Christmas Island. Christmas Island, the car doesn't have anything at the front, but it does have a metallic kind of bay or tray at the back, so that's easy enough to tell. Okay, now we have the standard Australian car, which is long antenna with the white car. You also have the red light here, so it's pretty clear, and basically all Generation 3 that's not a national park is covered with this car. And likewise, Generation 4, you'll often have a blue car, a blue tinge, but sometimes you'll also have the antenna. And now the antenna is rare for Generation 4. Only Turkey and Australia have Generation 4 antenna, so something to keep in mind. Quite an interesting fact about Australia. But the white car and this car will be the two most common ones you'll see. But moving on, now we are into the national parks. Here we are in the Coorong National Park in South Australia. So this is the standard South Australian car. Often you'll have a bit of this black bar showing. It's a white car, and the right rear view mirror will be more visible than the left, generally speaking. There's also a antenna here in the center, and now what I've noticed about the South Australia National Park car is that the antenna can be on the right, left, or the center, which is quite interesting. But yes, this white car is all over South Australia, so we're going to see this in a bunch of other locations here. Here we are a bit further north. Once again, here is the South Australia car again. This time we have like a stubby antenna in the middle, and the rear view mirror is not visible, nor is the rack. So this one probably is actually slightly different, but I think it's just where the camera is actually set up. So this one is the most unique in South Australia. Now I do think this is the same car, it's just that the camera angle is quite different. Yeah, this one's a bit north of Adelaide. Here is another one. This white car is also a South Australian one with a metallic roof rack kind of thing going on, but yeah, the same one. And again here, so I'm just running through all the different national parks, just so you know that this is the classic South Australian car, and we've got the left rear view mirror there actually as well. Okay, and here we are in the Adelaide Botanic Gardens, and we have this weird green buggy which is driven around. They actually drive these around. It's in my city, of course, and you will see that this guy with the black curly hair, whoever that fella is, he is in a lot of the Adelaide Trekkers. He's actually gone ahead and done a lot of them, and yeah, he probably works at the Botanic Gardens because he's driving around one of the green buggies here. So a rare trekker and a weirdly shaped blur. You can see it's like circular, but a good one to know. Alright, so here we are in New South Wales. This is the quintessential New South Wales car. You won't see it anywhere else. It looks like the Cocos car because it's got the same kind of snorkel, and it's often got like black writing on the bonnet or on the top of the car. Yep, but it's got a big tray in the back and like a mesh or a kind of metal net there. So here's another example of it, just running through the different ones. It covers the Kosciuszko National Park with all yellow road lines here, and you can see that's what it looks like at the back. And yeah, so what I want to say about New South Wales and South Australia is that they're the two most common. You'll see these ones easily the most commonly. The other states definitely use their state-specific cars a bit less, but you'll always see this one in New South Wales. This one's a bit different. It lacks that cage that was on the first one, and it has the writing all the way on the top of the car here. So it's a bit different, but it's a similar style. Likewise here, this one is back to the old style. This one's unique. This one actually has like a black rack at the top, and it says LN68. This is in the Sells National Park, and yes, it's a bit different. It actually kind of looks like the South Australian one. but you'll be able to tell it because it says LN48. You can see it pretty consistently shows up through the blur. Alright, and then we are back here in the Royal National Park. And yeah, okay, so here is the Queensland car. The Queensland car is yellow, so fairly easy to remember. And yeah, we've got these big metal racks. So yeah, and it also says Ipswich at the front, which is actually a town in Queensland. So if you don't remember, you could actually get into the map there and see. This one is pretty much the only one for Queensland that I've seen, and it's normally around Brisbane. And yes, you will see this yellow. It's a similar car to the South Australian one, just yellow. And sometimes, as I'll show in the next location, you can only see the yellow antenna. And so, yeah, in this location, we've only got the metal bars and this yellow antenna out front. So good to know, because you won't be able to see the yellow car with this massive, massive blur here. Alright, so now we're on to Victoria, and Victoria doesn't have any national park cars, but it does have a weird variation of the white car, or it's just a red car, with the same long antenna. So if you see this red car, then you can be confident that you are right here in the Yarra Ranges National Park, and actually this red car drives into Melbourne and a bit south here as well. And it's really interesting because the red car, I think it's only basically the only other place the red car is in the Ukraine, so it's kind of odd that they had it also in the Yarra Ranges National Park outside of Melbourne, but yeah, good to keep in mind. The only other one I could think of for Victoria was this railway with a green behind, but this is a trekker, but yeah, not too often that you see railway trekkers, but there is one in Victoria. Next up, we're moving on to the Western Australian cars. This one is rather similar to the South Australian one. So this, like, kind of a lower cam, I guess it kind of looks like a lower cam with the black bars. You can see this in WA, so I will tell you that it's up here near Exmouth, right on the coast there. So you also kind of have the white sand, which kind of looks like South Australia. So it could be tough to tell. I think I probably got that wrong when I came across it, but yeah, a good one to keep in mind. Now we have some of the weird Western Australian ones. Western Australia kind of doesn't really have much of a pattern. In the Punululu National Park, we have this really interesting looking massive antenna, and you can't really see anything else on this one. Maybe just the back of the little car there. Next one, another long antenna on the front here with a bar, and it also has a second yellowish antenna as well, but the landscape is pretty distinctly Western Australian here. Then we have a boat, Cape Range National Park. These ones will all be on the diagram if you want to check out exactly where these were, of course. Then we have Dove Lake in Tasmania. Tasmania does not have any national park cars, but it does have two boats. This is one of them in Dove Lake, and this is the other at Lake St Clair. Actually quite a bit of coverage on these two boats, and you can see them in some of the Australia maps, so worth keeping in mind. And that is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this explanation. Yeah, this is the map. Feel free to come here from the description, check out where these ones were. As you can see, I've marked the green for the New South Wales, the black for the South Australian type of cars, and then all the other locations such as the Cocos and the Keeling, the Cocos and the Christmas Island are marked up there. And yet the two boats in Tasmania, to recap, and the red Victorian car and the Queensland cars. I also think I may have seen one up there once, a bit further north, but yeah, that's all I can think of for now. So also, please let me know, join my Discord and let me know if you've seen any others. I doubt you have, because I think that's probably about it, but I'm probably missing some locations, especially probably for New South Wales. So, thank you very much for watching. If you like the Australia content, do subscribe, because I've got a lot of the niche kind of Australia videos going on over here. Otherwise, stay tuned for my other stuff, and have a good one. Catch you later.